Hey, what's the deal? It's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording, it is 1:25 p.m., August 27, 2025. I'm a little tired. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking tired. I had to wake up early to go to an appointment downtown Brooklyn. You know what I mean? I had to go get some stuff. I had to get some stuff done, and I'm fucking beat. I'm fucking tired, yo. I am done. I'm out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm finito. This is the second video that I'm dropping for the day, but the first one I'm actually doing, full fresh. And I want to talk about something with Jake Hagar. You guys know Jake Hagar, formerly Jack Swagger in WWE, former AEW superstar. And he went full nuke on AEW and Tony Khan, right? And this is perfect timing based off of, all of a sudden that's going on with Chris Jericho. And with some of the comments that he made, it basically tells me, it tells the insides of, how AEW really is, as well as what I perceive as the real relationship between Tony Khan and AEW. When I mean real relationship, I mean the actual, their interactions and such, right? So Jake Hagar had made some comments about what happened to AEW after Cody left, right? He said once Cody left, then that was it. It seemed like, Tony Khan really didn't give a fuck about AEW like that no more. Matter of fact, let me pull up what he said. Let me see if I can find it. I think I have it saved. Ironically, I do. Ironically, I fucking do. And this also has a lot to do with Chris Jericho as well. Yes, this has a lot to do with Chris Jericho as well, because this tells me everything that you need to know now with Chris Jericho's relationship with AEW, right? So I'm taking this off of Cultaholic, right? Like I said, Jake Hagar was on the Chris Van Vliet show, and, he made some comments that really, really, really will let you know about his relationship with Tony Khan, right, in AEW. So he says, while discussing Cody Rhodes' AEW departure, right, he was taking shots. I think everything changed after Cody left because he was involved. He was involved with it. And after that, it just kind of became a free fall. The Young Bucks and Kenny still had a big say in what they were doing. Chris obviously has a big say in what he's doing. Even Chris, and this is the main part, even Chris, he would tell me Tony would not respond to his messages for 2 weeks. Keep that in mind. It became a point where either AEW is important or it's not. It just seemed like it was not to him. They stopped doing production meetings. They stopped doing everything to make the show timely. We'll be waiting around 5 p.m. to find out what we were doing that day. What live television shows does? What live television shows does that? Only one with money behind it. Wow. Unbelievable. The fact they said the thing about the 2 weeks part, right? That is very telling, because remember, did Chris Jericho a couple of months ago said, I think it was last month, said that he's waiting on creative from AEW, right? And the fact that he said, he told Jake that he would have to wait 2 weeks for Tony Khan to respond. 2 weeks. That tells you everything you need to know about that relationship. And this tells me more than ever that Chris Jericho is done with AEW. He's done. Because the fact that, he also ripped Tony Khan, he ripped Tony Khan some more. He said, daddy's little billionaire, right? I mean, listen, Jake Hagar, I don't know if, he's saying this off of bitterness, because he mentioned some things about WWE as well. You know, you mentioned how John Cena, he refused to put him over and such. But it seemed like there's a lot of heat with Jake Hager and AEW. A lot. And he said, fuck it. You know, he didn't sign the NDA, so he's going to go full blast. He said they stopped doing production meetings. They stopped. So I see like everything that was going on with AEW, it was basically over all Cody. This was all Cody. Cody was the one that was running the shit. He was the one that was doing it. Everybody else just followed suit. Everyone else followed, right? And it's very telling. It's very telling. But the thing there is Chris Jericho. You know, Chris Jericho, it has 4 months left remaining in his AEW deal, right? And all signs point to him going back to WWE. Now, he put something up yesterday about contemplating. Yeah, I mean, it could be, I don't think it has something to do with his wrestling future. I think this is something to do with something else. But like I said, all signs point to it. All signs point to him going back to WWE. That's telling. That's telling. And it's perfect. It's perfect timing because, again, this lets you know that Chris Jericho and Tony Khan's relationship is beyond more than rocky. Right? If this tells you everything you need to know about Chris Jericho's relationship with Tony Khan, what about everyone else's? What about everyone else's? And you know, someone brought up something interesting. Shout out to this guy named AWN on Twitter. You know, he mentioned something about Swerve. He brought up something very interesting about Swerve. You know, he mentioned how he feels like Swerve is the brand new Chris Jericho in the sense of being like the main defender of AEW, right? You know, Chris Jericho used to do that. Chris Jericho used to bash WWE and defend AEW. He used to just, you know, put AEW on the map. Right? But it seems like Swerve is now taking that place of Chris Jericho and such, right? So now you can feel that Chris Jericho's time with AEW is a wrap. It's a wrap. Now I get the feeling more and more and more than ever before that is done. Right? And I said this before, I'm going to say this again. Chris Jericho, to me, has a lot more influence, more than you already think. If you don't think he's going to be able to fish in many well-known names from AEW onto WWE, you sadly mistaken. Because it seems like Tony Khan's focus now is, you know, it seems like he's trying to get a lot of the OGs up out of there. And it's focusing on the new blood, right? The Will Ospreys, the Swerves, you know what I'm saying? Like those guys. It seems like he's putting his eggs on those baskets. Those two baskets, right? Those two. You know, that's what maybe Darby Allin, maybe, but it seems like a lot of the old guard he's phasing out. Know what I mean? And with Chris Jericho on the way out, right? It now seems more than ever that old guard, right? That people that, you know, that he's tight-knit with, right? He's going to bring them over to WWE with them. You can feel it. You can feel it. He has influence. He'll tell people, come on. You know what I mean? They'll accept us. You know what I mean? This is not the same company. You know what I'm saying? This reminds us more of the old AEW from 2019. You know what I mean? You can tell. You can honestly fucking tell. You can feel it. You can't even tell. You can feel it. Feeling it is more noticeable than telling. But the fact that Jake Hager would say this out of all people, right? You might think, oh, why is Jack Swagger talking stuff? Jack Swagger didn't sign an NDA. He never signed the NDA. You know what I mean? So he can release a lot more stuff than what we got now. This is interesting, man. This is very, very, very fucking interesting. You know? And yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to be said. I can't wait. I honestly cannot fucking wait. I'm about to be out, guys. You know what I mean? I will be coming with either 1 or 2 more videos tonight. So I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.